I made this chair to celebrate a very dear friend's retirement. And what I hope to do over the course of the next several videos is kind of take you behind the scenes and show you how this chair was designed and constructed. So let's get started. Sorry to interrupt just as we're getting started, but there are a couple things I just wanted to briefly discuss. The first is I recognize there's a lot of content or footage in this video series about this chair. It's a little more footage than I had anticipated when I got started, but I think you'll see as you get into this series, it required this much footage to do it justice. The chair is fairly unique and it presented a number of design and construction challenges, and I really wanted to explore those and explain and demonstrate, how I approach them and basically just show how this chair was made and put together. And while there's a number of episodes, as I sit here today, there have been 6 episodes that have been edited and uploaded, and there's going to be another 3, maybe 4 to round this out. Each episode is relatively short. The 6 episodes that have been uploaded at this point, on average, are less than 10 minutes long. So I'm trying to keep each episode relatively short. And the other thing is, I'm well aware that the audio and video in the first 3 episodes is maybe not what it should be. I shot that footage using some pretty low budget equipment, and I know and I didn't know what I was doing. Not that I know what I'm doing now, but I know there are parts where my head gets cut off and the audio isn't always what it should be. Bear with me. Once we got past episode 3, I got a little GoPro camera, and so beginning with episode 4, the audio and video quality should improve a little bit, and hopefully I am learning and getting better as we go along doing this. But as always, any comments or suggestions or input, feedback about this are appreciated, because I literally don't know anything about doing this. I just figured at some point you just got to jump in, do it, create something, and learn from it and get better as you go along. So with that said, let's get back to episode 1 of the chair build. Whenever anybody sees one of these chairs, the first question they always ask me is, how do you make those curved legs? Here's a close-up photo of one of the legs taken from the side. As you can see, the leg is essentially a sandwich. You make a small truckload of pieces like this. This piece is a little more than 5 feet long. It's a little thinner than 1/8 of an inch. And you get a stack of them, you glue them together, and you bend them around a bending form, clamp them in place, and let them dry for about a week, after which time you will have a curved chair leg. And if that makes it sound like an easy process, it really isn't. So let's take a look at how these are actually made. So we started with 3 pieces of rough cut cherry exactly like this, milled them down into these 3 pieces, and we're going to cut from these pieces a bunch of thin strips similar to what you saw a moment ago that we can use to make these chair legs. Let's go over to the bandsaw and start the process of cutting these thin strips. All right, we have cut the thin strips from those 3 pieces of cherry that we saw earlier. We've got 2 stacks of 8 pieces each, a couple extras over here in case we need them. Takes 8 of these thin strips to make 1 leg. But we're not ready to glue these up yet. When you cut thin strips like this on the bandsaw, they're not perfectly smooth. They're not always a consistent thickness. There'll be minor variations. And for these bent lamination glue-ups to work, like in these chair legs, all the pieces in the glue-up or in the sandwich have to be perfectly flat, and they have to be consistent. Otherwise you get a glue-up that has gaps, is inconsistent, and just doesn't look good, and will eventually fail. So the next step in the process is to run these through the drum sander and get them ready to glue up. And to give you an idea of how much sanding we've got to do on these, this stack of 8 needs to be sanded down so that it is collectively the thickness of this piece of walnut, which is 7/8 of an inch. So quite a bit of sanding to do. The sanding does take quite a bit of time, but it's the only way to ensure that you get a strong, long-lasting, and good-looking glue-up in something curved like this. So that'll be in the next video. Until then, hit the subscribe button. That way you'll get notified when the next video comes out. If you've got any questions or comments, leave those in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.